We live?
Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show, the Packers-49ers preview show here. We did this last weekend for Packers-Cowboys, and we all expected it to be probably the last time we talked about the Packers in the playoffs. I know.
Not me. Not me.
Well, not you, except you, but I know most of us Vikings fans.
I'll tell you that's for sure.
Most of us Vikings fans were hoping for it to be the last time we saw the Packers in the playoffs this year, but they find a way to not only win the game, but truly dominate Dallas in a stunning fashion. We were watching the game, our jaws were dropping during that pick six.
Well, it's all right. This will be the last time we see the Packers in the playoffs.
Well, we'll see. I don't know. I mean, the lines moved.
I hope not.
The lines moved up to 10 points now, and we just want to welcome everybody in who is in the chat right here. We got 53 people right now. We'll see how high we can get it. Jack's in his Jordan Love. You know what's kind of sad is Jack's in my Jordan Love jersey.
I'm debuting the jersey for myself.
Horrendous. Absolutely
No. Paul, listen, it is the show's Jordan Love jersey.
It is the Jordan Love jersey.
Yeah.
It is the Jordan Love jersey.
Oh, are you telling me that you own a Jordan Love jersey? Really? Is that you want to take that on? You want to take that energy on?
I don't want that. No, I don't know what we'll end up doing with
what
that.
did this cost?
This is a $90 jersey.
Like American dollars or like euros?
Oh, American dollars.
American.
Yeah, of course, American dollars.
I spent $90 on a freaking
New Jersey
Jordan
money or
Love
Wisconsin
jersey.
money?
I have to say, I love this. I love this comment that we got here while everyone was waiting. From Defective. What did he say about his?
I got some homebrew apple cider that I effed up on accident with too much vanilla. Folks, if you got any drinks that you effed up with too much vanilla on accident, put it in the chat. We'd love to know.
Yeah, let us know.
So he said, "What are you drinking today?" And we're like, "Water."
I got a ginger ale I've been working on. I've got some ginger boiling down in a pot in the back. I'm making some ginger ale.
Oh, so all natural ginger ale.
So it's super easy.
Ziggy,
delicious.
Nice.
Ziggy, we have a question saying from Dakota Flores that says, "Where's Ziggy's cheesehead?" Here's what I'm thinking in terms of
if they win, that's the deal. If they won,
in terms of like bets that we can have with the Packers fans as to what we'll wear if they continue if they somehow keep winning here. I think after this one, I know I'll be in that jersey and green and yellow face paint. And then if they go to the Super Bowl, I'll throw on a cheese head in addition to face paint and the jersey. And then if they win the Super Bowl, I don't know what happens. It just can't.
We buy the helmet.
Yeah, we get a big helmet for the table if they win the Super Bowl.
Zach, Nico says our audio can go up a little bit if you could push it up a little.
Thanks, Nico.
Thank you, Nico.
Is that the Nico on my basketball team?
It could be.
Maybe
it could very well be.
You never know.
Okay, so let's talk about this game a little bit here. And when I was driving over, I was thinking about the Packer fan mindset coming into this game. And, I've had enough now of talking about, if Jordan Love has showed them that going into next year, they're in good shape. We all know that right now. At this point, there's no one hotter in the league.
Go in there and win the game.
The mindset of Packer fans today,
Absolutely.
because Packer fans seem very happy with the season they've had, and you should be 100%.
Yeah.
But I was just thinking, if they win this game now, we're talking about the Lions or the Buccaneers standing in the way of a Super Bowl. And that to me, it's like, holy crap, if you beat San Francisco, the Packers very well might find their way to the Super Bowl in year one of Jordan Love. And I think that the key to that for today is I trust the offense completely. Why wouldn't you at this point? What Joe Barry defense is going to show up today? That's what I'm circling. Are we going to see the defense we've seen against Dallas, Minnesota, Chicago, or is it going to be the defense that allowed 30 points in a career day for Bryce Young? I'm inclined to think that we're going to see an inspired Packer defensive performance because that's how they've looked lately. But the San Francisco offense is really good. What do you think, Ziggy? Are you trusting of the Packer defense today?
As I said during our preview show, and we can check this out, but it's tough for me to see it. The fact is the run defense has been vulnerable really for more or less the whole season. There have been good moments, there have been bad moments, but the run defense has struggled. And you're going against, without question, the best running back in the league. I actually think against the 49ers passing game, they'll be all right. I'm not super worried about this. But the run game, I think, is just going to set a tone. I'm like, what's the answer to Trent Williams? That's really the question I have going into this game. What is the answer to Trent Williams and Christian McCaffrey running at the left? You read those ridiculous stats The 49ers run to the left side 60% of the time, average like 5.6 yards per carry.
Oh, it's sickening.
Who's sealing the edge against Trent Williams?
It's sickening. Yeah, 5.7 yards per carry for McCaffrey running to the left side. That's gonna be a chore all day.
Yeah, I think a game like this, when you're the 7 seed on the road against the best team in the conference, it's similar to a game like the Steelers and the Bills, where the first quarter and a half is super important. You don't want to fall down in an early hole, because if you do, let's say it's 14-zip San Francisco, right? You're not getting your stops. Here comes the crowd. That becomes a huge factor.
And you guys saw 49ers fans firsthand in Pittsburgh this year. They're insane.
Look what happened in Dallas. They took that home crowd right out of the game early on.
Mm-hmm.
If you can find a way to somehow do that in San Francisco, that's how the Packers win the game. They'll win this game early on. They're not going to win it late.
And we'll give a little round of applause for Jack, because Jack is fighting his own flu game today, but showed up here. Because,
as you can tell in the voice, maybe a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, and it's not a hangover, believe it or not. Like,
no,
this is not.
Yeah.
This is just a little illness, but somehow, some way.
I push through for our Packer fans.
Let us know too if the audio is still a little quiet, and we'll push it back up. So let us know if that's a problem for anyone right now. Jack, something that we talked about on the last show that you weren't here for were our top, ranking the 8 quarterbacks left in the playoffs. And Ziggy and I both made a list. I believe mine was number 1 was Patrick Mahomes, then Josh Allen, Lamar, CJ Stroud, Jordan Love, Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, Baker Mayfield. And Ziggy, do you remember your list?
Yeah, it was Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jordan Love, Lamar Jackson, CJ Stroud, Brock Purdy, Baker Mayfield, Jared Goff.
So naturally, with the audience that this channel has now accumulated, most people were saying that Ziggy had.
Well, it's because they're unbiased. They've watched more Jordan Love games, so they recognize how good he is.
I think Packers fans will love my list.
So a lot of people were asking, "Oh, what's Jack's list? What's Jack's list?" And we had our ideas. We tried to guess what your list may have been. But why don't you go ahead? We'd like to hear your ranking. 8-1 though. 8-1.
8-1. Okay. So 8, I got Baker Mayfield, and I hate putting him at 8 because I like him. He played a great game last week against Philly, but I mean, every quarterback left here is solid. So Baker's number 8. Brock Purdy's number 7. I've always said I think he's a good quarterback, but the weapons really help him out.
Someone says goated list incoming.
Jared Goff is number 6. CJ Stroud's number 5. Josh Allen is number 4. Lamar's 3. Then it was a toss-up for me.
Oh, my God.
But I went Mahomes 2. And then the man who has looked flawless with 1 turnover the last 9 games at number 1, I'm rocking his jersey.
Come on, man.
Jordan Love.
Just ridiculous.
So there you go. Baker, Purdy, Goff, Stroud, Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, Love. 8-1.
Actually, I disagree here. We had a comment saying from Red Crimson. He says, as a Pack fan, Purdy is better than Love. I think that
no, I think Love is much better than Purdy.
Like for the record, that Jack, the guy who said you had a goated list, has taken it back in all caps.
Oh, it's the same dude. No,
other people though say ball. So and you can't argue with the way Jordan Love has looked right now. You could say he's playing the best out of anyone in the league, which is absurd to even think.
You said best quarterbacks 8-1 left in the playoffs.
So well, right now he's playing like that.
Yeah,
but I do think going into this game that the Packers have the advantage at quarterback. Love over Purdy. Purdy is very, very good. An MVP candidate most of the season. Most of the time, he does exactly what he's told in that offense, and if not, a little bit more. But with what Love's doing, and I don't want to say, like, his weapons are great. I think we'll talk more about the weapons on both sides in a little bit. But Jordan Love right now, if you put him on San Francisco, I think they are actually better.
They're scoring 60 points a game, yeah.
which is kind of insane. But it's the guy who has the Love jersey on has big nuts.
Well, I mean, I'll just say putting Purdy at 7 is objectively outrageous, right? People say it's the weapons. No one has ever performed
Mm-hmm.
remotely as well as him with these weapons. Not even Jimmy G.
Who was the name? What's that guy's name?
Which one? Who said
the big nuts?
He said you have big nuts.
Bryce Sharp.
Yeah, Bryce.
That's
Bryce,
my new favorite. That's my new favorite fan. Thank you, Bryce. I have bigger nuts than you think. Also.
Oh God. Oh God.
I do think though. I do want to say, like I've said the last couple of weeks, I do think this. I agree with you, Paul. Like the defense to me is the biggest part of this game. You have to stop San Francisco early on and stay and avoid a hole. But again, to me, like I've said, it starts with the run game and Aaron Jones.
Yes.
I think Aaron Jones needs over 100 yards once again. Jordan Love and these receivers have been playing awesome football in the last few weeks, and it's no mystery why. That's because Aaron Jones gone over 100 yards and opened all that up. Like if he's bottled up, it becomes tough, especially against the San Francisco defense for Jordan Love in this pass game.
Well, and it's good, I think, for the Packers. I think either way they're going to get to start this game with the ball. If they win the coin flip, I think they're going to want to take it. If the 49ers win, I think they're going to want to defer and force the Green Bay offense to do something. But that gives you an opportunity for one of those defining drives. Aaron Jones consistently generates yards, opens up some big play action to Christian Watson. We'll talk a little bit later, answer some questions about which wide receivers we think are going to have a good day. I'm betting Watson, but open up a play like that, and that can define the rest of the game. So if the 49ers do what I think they will, or the Packers do what I think they will, and Packers start with the ball, they'll have an opportunity for a big moment.
I love this from Merle right here. Jordan Love can't light up this Niners defense like Kirko can. And Logan Washnot comes in and goes, Merle, shut up. The Vikings aren't even playing, dog. Little skull.
Well, we are the only NFC team to beat the 49ers at this point.
Wait, there's that stat. Did you see that no team who's lost to Kirk has won the Super Bowl? Both these teams have lost to Kirk this year.
I mean, yeah, it's the Kirk Cousins curse.
Who else has lost? It would be the Bucs then to win the Super Bowl, or to go to the Super Bowl.
The Lions beat us twice, so they're okay. The Bucs are fine, and I think everyone. I don't think we played any of them.
Party quit
this year. You good, Zach?
Thanks, Zach.
You good over there? What are you watching? We're in a live show, and you're just goofing around.
He's still on Hinge.
No, he's on Bumble. He's on Bumble. He's on Bumble.
But actually, what you were saying with Aaron Jones, we talked about in the keys video, 3 keys to the Packers upsetting the 49ers. One of them was establish Aaron Jones early and often. And we talked about this one stat that I found really interesting, that San Francisco keeps a light box with 6 or fewer defenders in the box on 69.6% of plays this season. That's the 7th most in the NFL. And since week 15, Aaron Jones has 31 carries for 228 yards against light boxes. And we were talking, similar to what you were just saying there. If San Francisco comes out and they have light boxes, Aaron Jones starts run through them, you bring an extra defender in. Now we're talking about
that opens everything up.
We're talking about, especially since they have so many weapons. It's not like they have just 1 or 2 guys on the outside. They have 4 who can attack you. Now you have a matchup somewhere that you can exploit, and that will change everything for Green Bay. Ziggy says his PC crashed and then he'll be back in a minute. Because I was looking at him right here, and it was looked like he was frozen for a second.
Froze. Well, I guess.
Or he's just sitting extremely still right now.
I guess it's a 2-man show for the time being.
Yeah. Well, he'll be back. Now we see us.
Oh, I look like death.
No, you look okay. You look okay. I mean, you're under the weather. You're under the weather.
Fans that we now accept super chats and members now.
Super chats and members. Yeah, we're trying to figure out. We've been trying to figure out how that works on YouTube. So if you want to become a member, I think we called it the PFS Army. We like that, right?
Oh,
PFS
yeah,
Army.
Good. Yeah,
if you want to become a member of the PFS Army, you can. If you in the super chat, if you throw a super, I don't even know if you can. So if people want to try it, you can. There's super chats where we'll highlight your comment and we'll answer all those questions for sure. We're trying to keep up in the comment section as we go along here.
He's back.
Someone says if you swapped Purdy and Mahomes, would KC make the playoffs? No, 100% not.
But if you, but San Francisco will be the best team in the history.
Yeah, but I think it's a point of Purdy is very good, but when we're talking about these quarterback rankings here, I think Purdy. Oh, this is going to sound.
I have Purdy at 7 here.
This could sound wrong, but I would probably lean towards putting Purdy closer to Goff and Baker Mayfield than I would Jordan Love and C.J. Stroud.
Yeah, that's what my list says too.
Purdy's awesome. Purdy's awesome.
Purdy, at a certain point, you have to stop discounting production. He's produced far more in that offense than anyone else.
No, he's done a phenomenal job.
He's you're telling me though that if you put him on KC's a playoff team? No way.
I'm not saying he's literally the best quarterback in the entire NFL. I think if you put him on KC, they're within 1 win of where they finished.
No way. So you're saying though, if I'm tiering the quarterbacks, I think that Lamar, Mahomes, and Allen are in tier 1. Tier 2, I have Stroud and Love. Stroud and Love.
The Packers had better. All I'm saying is the Packers had better hope that their defensive players don't think about Brock Purdy like you do. That's all I'm saying.
No, I'm sure they don't. From Defective says, I think everyone underappreciates how skilled Purdy is at running that offense. I think the offense would take a few years to get back to that level. Purdy has it running at.
I mean, how many quarterbacks did we see play terribly in that offense and be absolute garbage? A lot.
No, we have. Well, not garbage, but
we're not saying
No,
that
CJ
Purdy-
Beathard was bad. Nick Mullins
CJ
was
Beathard
bad.
sucked.
CJ
And-
I mean, we're not saying that
Sorry,
Purdy's
see,
like a bad
don't mean to
QB.
throw strays.
Like, Purdy's good.
Mhm.
I just think that what he has around him is very helpful.
Someone says PFS cheeseheads.
That's pretty funny.
That's horrible. That we will never be named the PFS
Wait,
cheese.
can I ask a question to all these fans?
Yeah, please.
In what sports bars tonight in Green Bay will you guys be watching this game?
Oh yeah.
Or anywhere.
Or
Where are you
anywhere,
watching?
yeah, anywhere. Where are you guys watching? Will you be there? Will you be in a rowdy bar? Will you be at home with your wife and kids?
I know some people who are going
I mean,
to the game today.
it's a
some
Saturday
Packer
night.
fans. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. No, I know some Packer fans who live out in California who are going to the game. And actually, I asked him if he'd wear. We have the I Love Love shirts, as you guys know, that you can actually buy these on paulfarringtonshow.com for like $20, right? I don't think they're expensive.
Yeah,
No.
10 or 20.
Yeah. So they're pretty cheap. You know, we're trying to.
We
just
wouldn't
have-
rip off our fans.
We're just trying to help people have fun here. But I think he might be wearing this shirt to the game, which would be pretty cool.
What if next year, if the Packers got the 1 seed and hosted the NFC Championship, and every single fan in the stadium showed up in this shirt?
The I Love Love Day.
I mean, that would be the greatest thing ever, right? Could you imagine that?
Here we go. A lot of people hanging out at home here. Some people neighborhood bar. I love watching these games at home though.
I
You,
do
you
too.
bring people over. You guys
Yeah.
used to do that when the
No.
Steelers used to be good.
Order some food.
You'd order food. We'd all go in the basement.
But do you realize that that's how good we are? You said we used to be good. We made the playoffs
I know.
this year.
I know. Well,
that's how
the,
good that we are.
That's the difference
And
between
it's similar
teams
to
like
the
you and the
Packers. It's similar to the
Packers,
Packers, yeah.
and guys like me and Ziggy who are, you can't say when we used to be good
You
20,
guys,
30
are, you guys are
years
good
ago.
this year.
Yeah. This, for us it was. Here's a good question. Someone asked. Let me see if I can find it. From Josh Olson, he says, "If Rodgers were healthy, would the Packers be better off going into this game with him instead of Love?" No.
I mean, the way
Yeah.
Love's playing right now, no, he's my number 1 quarterback left in the playoffs.
Even if you're getting the really good MVP Aaron Rodgers we saw, he just didn't have the same connection with these receivers. Like Aaron Rodgers, and you can see it of the way he went to the Jets. There are players he gets along with and players he doesn't. And he really likes to have his guys. And if you're not one of his guys, you will be an outsider. Jordan Love, it's the opposite. He has brought this whole team together.
Actually,
You know how disheartening that is that that you could say, would you rather have Aaron Rodgers or Jordan Love in this game?
No,
And,
that's
without a question, every single one of us here, every single person in the chat, basically,
I don't
is
know.
like,
I might go back to a healthy Rodgers.
No, the Packers moved on from Rodgers at just the right time.
I mean,
That's indisputable.
Like, they hosted a huge game last year, Sunday Night Football, for a chance to go to the playoffs with Aaron Rodgers and this same roster, and they lost the game at home in primetime. Where'd they go? They were 8-9 or 9-8.
yeah,
I will say
they
it
missed the
wasn't quite
playoffs?
the same roster. They've gotten enormous production out of a whole bunch of rookies this year.
I think the 2 rookie receivers they have now are also. I think there's huge contributions, and Musgrave. Like I mean, Packers have had a really good draft this year.
Yeah, but he had Watson.
He had Watson
Who
and
else?
Dobbs,
Yeah, Watson, Dobbs.
but still, like Watson didn't even play most of this year. I think when we talk about the NFC North, we're talking about the great class that Detroit had with Brian Branch, Jahmyr Gibbs, Laporta. Like they really had an excellent draft. But you could look over to what the Packers did last year, and it's just as good. The NFC North teams, or those 2 NFC North teams in particular.
I mean, Aaron Rodgers healthy with 4 weapons like this. Like,
You just said Love's your number 1 quarterback in the playoffs.
and if Rodgers in the playoffs, he'd be
Oh,
number
he
1.
might be number 1. Jeez.
I mean, it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, you're telling me that if Rodgers was playing in this game tonight against San Francisco with the Packers offense, you wouldn't pick them to win the game.
well, let's do the Packers fans listening. Would you guys,
I mean, it's got to be Aaron Rodgers. It's Aaron Rodgers.
if you guys could swap a healthy Aaron Rodgers
I'm going
in,
back
would you
on my
do
word.
it?
It's Aaron Rodgers.
I think every single one of them is going to say no. Ziggy, let's talk a little bit about the weather there today. It's supposed we've been monitoring the forecast. Well, you've been monitoring the forecast.
Are you a
our
weatherman, Ziggy?
meteorologist?
You're weatherman?
Out of
Yeah,
UVA. What's going on?
I'm no Tom Kippen, but I do pay attention to the weather a little bit, and it is likely to have rained throughout the game. We've gotten a few questions about this from folks, and I think that makes sense. How to predict the weather in the game, I'm not sure what impact it's going to have, but it's going to do a few things. First, it's going to make everything a little bit slower, right? The 49ers and the Packers are both teams that like having speed. And the game's going to slow down a little bit. The Packers aren't going to be able to use their speed just like they did last week against the Cowboys. On the other hand, that's also going to slow down pass rushers, right? The last thing Nick Bosa wants to do is be going after Jordan Love, slip and fall. So I think what it's going to do, it's going to emphasize the run games for both teams. And sort of like we talked about in our keys, I think it's going to make both Aaron Jones and Christian McCaffrey, namely stopping Christian McCaffrey, more important for both teams.
What are people saying? Anybody saying Rodgers?
You got lit up in the absolutely lit up in the
So they're all
comment section
saying
here.
love.
It was I think it might be the most chats we've ever had at one time.
Just all saying
Ever.
love.
It was no, not anymore. Love 100%. No. But he's just playing really well.
I mean, look, if Rodgers was healthy and starting quarterback, I think these guys would change their mind.
So, yeah, man. So in this sort of game, though, Ziggy, would you say if you were a Packer fan, would you be happy that it's raining, or would you rather have clear conditions?
I want rain. Look, here's the thing. If you're a Packers fan, here's what you want. You want variance. You want like as many things that can introduce luck and probability into the equation as possible. Wet ball, opportunity for fumbles, opportunity for slipping, opportunity for, when there's a little moistness in the air, it seems like anything can happen. I know Packers fans have bad memories about weird weather against the 49ers. You go back to that 2022 game where it's like wind chill was 0 degrees, snowy at Lambeau. But you want as many things that can mix up the outcome as possible, and rain is something that can do just that.
We got our first super chat ever, guys. Clap for Bryce. Bryce Sharp. He says,
the same dude who says I have big nuts.
Yeah.
He's our new biggest fan.
He says 49ers are playing dress up as the 2010 Patriots, but they don't have that guy as QB, meaning, the great Tom Brady. 3 weeks off for those guys. I don't think they are ready. That's something that we have to look at, too. The 49ers haven't played a lot of these starters in a long time.
That's what I was saying about
a long time.
About Ravens-Texans also. It's the same deal.
So there could be an advantage there in that Green Bay, you have to feel good coming in with how hot they've been. Week after week after week, they are top. Almost said it again. I didn't. They are topping their performance.
I wouldn't have noticed. Week
after week after week. And San Francisco, Purdy hasn't played since week 17, right?
Yeah.
Like McCaffrey got banged up, hasn't played since week 17.
No, Purdy, the last week of the season, he didn't play.
No, week 18 he was out, and then playoffs.
Yeah, so week 17 was
so
last
like
week,
it's been a while, and you see these things. College football kind of works this way, where you finish the season and then you have a month before the bowl games, and sometimes you see teams come out and they're just rusty. Like that's how you are if you haven't played in a month. 49ers, they're so talented that you expect them to be playing at a high level regardless, but it's still something to monitor.
I mean, look, going back to the weather as well, like if it is kind of crappy conditions, that takes away the full potential of guys like Debo and Kittle and honestly Purdy in the pass game.
Mm-hmm. They're so explosive too.
Yeah, and like Green Bay's offense, like their pass game, Jordan Love, these weapons, they're very, very solid, don't get me wrong. But it's not what San Francisco has.
Mm-hmm.
So I think if the weather is what we think it's going to be, like yucky, a little bit of rain, I know they have McCaffrey, but that bodes well for Green Bay. Because if you can take away the max potential of these guys that San Francisco has, that's a win for Green Bay.
Well, yeah, and Jack, you talk about this all the time. To pull off an upset, the most important thing you can do is take the initial gut punch. Don't go too far behind in the first quarter or the first half.
Yeah.
And bad weather, some rust, making those first few drives, things don't click quite as much. That's the kind of thing that can keep the Packers in the game maybe a little bit longer than the 49ers are expecting. And once that fear sets in, that, oh, shoot, we have to actually go out and win this game. It's not going to be easy. The crowd's taken out of it a little bit. They're feeling miserable. They're wet. They're cold. These 49ers fans, it's going to be like 50 and rainy, so it's the worst weather of their lives in Northern California.
It looks like most Packers fans are saying that they would like to have rain in this game. But someone, S. Strong, says, I disagree on the weather argument. So if you type out why you feel that way, then, we'll talk about that a little bit.
The most important thing that was weathering that early storm for sure.
No pun intended.
If this is a game in the third quarter, there's so much more pressure on San Francisco than there is on Green
Well, that's
Bay.
what someone else just said here. They were like, in the beginning of the game, like, we need to take control of the game at halftime, make San Francisco play from behind, put them in uncomfortable situations. We said on a lot of these preview shows, the 49ers have this juggernaut feel to them, and they're a fantastic football team. But we've seen them this year get rattled at times, and that happened in Minnesota. You know, of course, there were a couple weird plays with Jordan Addison there right before halftime. But when you get after Brock Purdy, I've always thought that he's one of those guys you can see when he's rattled. You can see it in his eyes. And next thing you know, think of the Ravens game. You know, they're sending 4 people most of the time, and all of a sudden Purdy was just wildly off, where almost every other pass looked like it could have been intercepted. So I think that Packer front 4, especially if it's rainy, sloppy conditions, you know, who's going to get after Purdy? Which one of those guys are they going to be able to do it? And that's something that we've seen Purdy struggle with this year.
And look,
I decided to put out a little poll for Packers fans to vote in. Do they want rain? Yes, no.
Nice.
We're at 55 votes, almost 80% saying yes. So
wow. Yeah, look at the Steelers-Bills game, right? It was 21-0 early in the second quarter. But a large part of that was the 2 horrible first quarter turnovers by Pittsburgh. If Green Bay if they take care of the football tonight, they're going to be in the game. And there's nobody better in football in the last half of the season taking care of the ball than Green Bay.
Yeah, I keep equating them to a young March Madness team that just has, you know, a superstar point guard. I know it sounds weird, but that's the feeling I get around them. Is they're this, you know, a March Madness Cinderella seed that has that has the best player on the field and is stunning these, you know, is going to stun some of the higher ranked teams. That's how it feels a little bit. Like there's that magic to them. Yeah. And I don't expect them to go in there and get blown out. They're playing too good.
And this is where it goes back to the defense, though, where if you're not getting your stops and you're down 7, 14-0, here comes the crowd, here come the nerves. It's a young team. Here come the turnovers.
Someone, Inky says, if Ziggy thinks the Packers have a chance, the Packers will win. Ziggy, I feel like you're turning into... You're probably the most liked person on this show because you are very pro-Packer.
I wouldn't say I'm pro-Packer. I speak facts, and I predicted them having a good chance last week, and it obtained. I'll say this much. Just to nerd out for a quick second here. We've gotten a few questions about which wide receivers people are expecting to have a big game. You know, don't gamble on this advice. I'm just making a guess.
Oh boy.
But here's a play I think you are going to see that is going to have a big impact at some point in the game. The 49ers run cover 4 quarters more than any other team in the NFL, and they're very good at it. But quarters has a big weakness. Passes right in the middle of the field deep. So things like post routes are the kinds of thing you run in order to do this. Christian Watson, post route master. Big, fast, strong. He can absolutely outmuscle the undersized 49ers linebackers or corners they put on him. So keep an eye out. There's going to be a moment. Play action. You're running dagger. There's a post deep in the middle of the field. Christian Watson starts breaking open. Jordan Love making that pass can win him the game.
Yeah, well, we've talked a lot about Jordan Love on this show recently, and there's no reason to expect at this point. You know, at some point in the season, way back when, you weren't confident in Love being able to make that deep downfield throw. You know, right now, you probably are if you're a Packers fan here. We have another super chat. The Packers from the Pack are back.
Pack is back.
What do you mean the Pack are back? The Pack were never out. They were out for 2 weeks.
Yeah, I know. That's what's so infuriating for us is we're talking about
insulting for us Vikings fans.
A 1 month, what was it? 3 weeks, 4 weeks of hell. And
well, they missed the playoffs last year.
Here we are, though. The super chat said from the Pack are back. Packers D has to get through the scripted plays even or down lightly. Shanahan has a history of not being able to come back from behind. That's a good point there. We'll see that first 49ers drive. You know, can they set the tone with the scripted plays where you see so often how some teams, the Vikings are one of these teams, they'll come out of the gate early and with those scripted plays go right down the field and score. That could set the momentum, you know, for us. Most of the time we wind up sucking immediately after. But for someone like San Francisco who can, you know, once the ball is rolling, it feels like an avalanche almost. You can't stop them. If Green Bay gets that first stop against the offense, that could set the tone for the Packers the rest of the day. That's what they did against Dallas, just reverse.
The Steelers aren't even good in the scripted drives.
Well, no, you guys are.
We're usually going 3 and out, punting for the 30-yard line in the opening drive.
Paul's Back the Pack podcast. Oh God. Oh. Someone says, Mastermind, Paul, I hope you Vikings fan don't bring bad luck to the Packers today by jumping on the band. No, we're not on the bandwagon, man.
How many spotted cows are consumed tonight throughout Green Bay, you think?
Oh, man.
I mean, millions?
Millions? I don't know. People,
Thousands?
do you guys like, for people who are in Green Bay, is Miller or spotted cow preferred generally?
I guess a spotted
It would
cow.
have to. I would guess Miller.
I guess it's less special for them because they're in Wisconsin. Like when I went there, I'm like, oh, like let me try something new. But for them, they have access to it every day.
Yeah, I love spotted cow.
Spotted cow is awesome.
I think it's great. I love when we bring it back. We talked about. I have family who goes to the UW Madison, and whenever we go out there to visit, one of the first things that we do is bring back 30, 60 spotted cows. It's phenomenal.
Oh, Miller is also huge. Miller Park.
Everyone's saying spotted cow in here.
As I see it, like Miller's kind of like the 49ers and spotted cow is kind of like the Packers.
One of them, the big national brand that, always is great in
one
sales.
One of them really good, slept on a bit, but they can pull off the upset.
Yeah, actually, really, really good.
Yeah, really, really good.
So I wanted to talk with you guys about this. I asked Zach.
What's the number? What's the number right on the chat? How many people are in there?
615 right now. So we're almost at. We were hoping to get up to 1,000 during the show today, which is that's a pretty lofty goal. But our actual goal is to beat 650 from last week, and we're closing in on it there.
Share the podcast with some Packers fans and stuff like that right now. If you guys want, get them in the chat.
Yeah. If you have friends who are Packer fans or 49ers fans or Vikings fans, just invite them in here. Logan
fans,
says Miller
Steelers
sucks.
fans.
I'm not a huge fan either.
These Packers fans, would you guys rather Jordan Love and the Packers, this team this year, win the Super Bowl, or be handed $200,000 tomorrow? I think that's a good question. Right?
See what they say to that. That's
I mean, if they're diehard fans, they're gonna come in here and say Super Bowl. But I think some might say
I'm making it a poll.
Yeah, make that a poll. Because I'd take $200K instead of the Steelers winning the Super Bowl.
Bart says spotted cow is nectar of the gods. It's good to be from Wisconsin.
Boys, can we wave to the camera? Connor is currently waving at you guys.
Connor, waving back at you.
Hi, Connor.
We see you out there.
How's it going?
Packers fan or $200,000 in cash.
Oh, votes are coming in quick.
Asterisk says.
If people say Packers Super Bowl, they're just lying, right?
Yeah.
Like this, if it was like $1,000, maybe I believe it. There's no way y'all would seriously take a Packers Super Bowl for $200,000.
Oh, I would take a Viking Super Bowl.
Oh,
do you
shut
know
up.
how desperate I am for a
No, you
Viking
wouldn't.
Super Bowl?
Shut up.
I'll work. I'm fine to work. I want to win a Super. You know how so badly I want to win.
We're 50-50 right now. It's 50-50.
Yeah, because there's some real fans out there.
I don't believe any of you.
$250,000. You're saying, oh, Vikings win the Super Bowl. They don't care about you. And you turn down $200K.
I think they might.
You know how Justin Jefferson is gonna sleep if you get $200,000 in the lottery tomorrow? Exactly the same.
I'm a fan, Ziggy. I'm a fanatic. I root for the Vikings. So,
We're at 50-50, 150 votes in.
How conflicted are
Wow,
you?
so 75 each right now.
Paul and Ziggy
Dang.
secretly rooting for the Packers to win every game now. How conflicted are you? Look, there is conflict. There is 100% conflict, and I'd be lying if I said there wasn't. Where every Packer win, we do understand the what will happen, the consequences for the channel.
Every Packer win is like an extra these 4,000 subs.
Like the Packers going to the Super Bowl changes the trajectory of this show forever. But at the same time, like I sit there and I watch, and when Jordan Love runs into Matt LaFleur's arms and they're smiling and jumping around together, I'm like, this is disgusting. Like this is horrible.
Then you realize we have another 5,000 subscribers the next day.
It is a terrible, terrible conflict. Let's see. We got in the chat Super Bowl. I'll take the dough. Give me 200K. Super Bowl. It is. I mean, Jack. It seems like you picked the right amount of money to throw out there.
Yeah, I figured $250,000. I mean, I think people are crazy for saying the Packers Super Bowl.
Someone. What was this? Whitest Hardo says, "I love the Packers, but 200K dog, bring me my money."
Yeah, cool, absolutely. That'd be my same response. I love the Steelers, but give me $250,000.
Yeah, Elmo says, "Cash, what you mean?"
Yeah, this isn't a serious question.
Paul, you're crazy also. If I give you a chest of $200K in cash.
Yeah, I am a little crazy. I mean, I'm a Viking fan, and I've been a Viking fan for 25
So
years.
what about you? Dolphins
insane.
or $200K?
Well, he doesn't know what it's like to win a Super Bowl.
Who cares?
You don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
I do know what it's
The
like.
Vikings have more success than the Dolphins in
What do
our
you mean?
lifetime.
I'm sorry. How many Super Bowls did the
In
Vikings
our
have?
lifetimes. In our lifetimes, for sure.
Oh, yeah, in your guys' lifetimes, yeah. They got a ring, though.
have multiple rings.
Ishan says, Paul, is this show going to be under the volume umbrella? I started reading that before I saw the end. I don't think we'll be under the volume umbrella anytime soon. It's a great company, though. Go check out all the stuff on the volume. I produce Hoops tonight.
After watching our stuff.
Yeah, I produce Hoops tonight and a couple others.
You're watching the better stuff.
You know,
No, the volume's great stuff.
I do want to get back. I have a question for you all about the game. I want to get back to the game for a quick second here. So there's been a lot of talk about pass rush, blocking, offensive lines, defensive lines. Which offensive line do you think is going to play better this game? 49ers or Packers?
Yeah, look, you have to also look at who you're going against, and the 49ers defensive front is sick. I think the Packers have the bigger challenge. I think the 49ers offensive line is probably good. I think both of them will keep the quarterbacks clean most of the game. Generally have done a decent job. Love has been okay with not taking. I don't think he took a sack in the Dallas game, if I'm correct. I'm gonna go with the Packers though, actually, because I think that line has been playing a lot better recently. When you look back over the past few weeks, Zach Tom, you brought him up before the Cowboy game, and we kind of made fun of you when you said he was gonna lock down Micah Parsons, but that Packer offensive line did a great job against the Cowboys front. I would say the Packers will do a better job. This is going to sound weird, given the talent they're facing on the other end, if that makes sense.
Oh, I get that, yeah. But I'm going to take the Niners because they
Trent Williams.
They have number 71.
He's a monster.
He's a monster. So I'll
Don't
take
forget Notre Dame grad Aaron Banks either. He's really blossomed into an effective left guard. The thing about the 49ers offensive line that just scares me, though, the left side is so strong. The right side is so weak.
Oh,
like there's a big vulnerability there.
We'll wave to Charlie again. He says hi. Skylar Matson says, this is horrible. He says, give me my 200,000. We're winning more Super Bowls anyway. Probably checks out.
True. I did say this year. A better question would have been like, you can't win again.
Oh.
What about like $2 million, but you can't ever win it again? That's a better hypothetical. Like, would you take $2 million, but the Packers can't win a Super Bowl again?
To a $2 million?
Yeah, $2 million.
Like people are going to...
you get handed $2 million, but the Packers can never win again.
Got a super chat, Paul, if you like.
Second, yeah, super chat
That's
from
a better
Lance.
question.
Let me just make sure.
That's 3 super chats now, right?
That is 3.
Yeah.
Wow.
Lance
it's
says,
Look at us.
49ers got a... Wait, hold on. It just went to an ad here for a second. He says, 49ers got a Purdy mouth. Love to pack it. Go Pack Go. I don't see it. 31-27 San Fran. Great channel. Takes the 200K. Then I would go to the next one when we repeat. That's a good. There you go.
Yeah, to be
Take
fair,
the
that 200K can get you a real nice ultra luxury box seat to watch the Packers win 3 more Super Bowls.
Well, you could take 200K.
I think most people take the $2 million.
So that guy who just left the super chat would take the 200K and then take the Packers plus 10 tonight.
Oh, Paul, I got a
400K.
Vikings question. I got to take a Vikings question and get away from time at the Packers.
Thank you.
This is from a mastermind. Ziggy, do you think that with the emergence of Jordan Love, the Vikings should start looking for a quarterback to replace Kirk Cousins for the future? Well, I'll tell you this. I don't think Jordan Love matters very much for this. The Vikings should be looking for a replacement for Kirk Cousins anyway. Kirk Cousins, very good quarterback, but it's not clear we can re-sign him. A lot of rumblings. He wants to go to Atlanta, play for Bill Belichick, finally get the defense he's been looking for. Even setting that aside, though, even if he re-signs with the Vikings, he's getting old. There's a lot of exciting quarterbacks in this draft. You can probably get Penix Jr. in the 3rd or 4th round. That's an interesting sort of guy you can look at there. Bo Nix, Jaden Daniels, lots of exciting guys. So I'm looking for a quarterback of the future this draft.
Real quick, we got a hello from France. I'm not going to be able to pronounce correctly, I don't think. Ziggy, you're more of the...
Bordeaux.
Okay, Bordeaux. That's what I was pretty sure. Bordeaux, France. Hello.
Hello from overseas.
International. Oh, from overseas. That's kind of crazy.
That brings a smile to my face.
Okay, I wanted to real quick piggyback off what you said, Ziggy. Someone that the Vikings can actually look to emulate in this situation is the Packers, actually. If they do bring back Kirk Cousins, we should 100% be looking to get a young quarterback. And... why not have them sit behind Kirk for a year or two if you can get the right contract for Kirk? You don't want to sell your soul for a 35-year-old quarterback, 36 by the time, coming off an Achilles. But, look at Green Bay here. Look at what they've done time and time again now. They're patient, and it pays off.
They just do that, though. That's what they do. I mean, you can't.
Well, we do it, and it would probably blow up in our faces. You can't do it
like they do. Like, you're telling me if the Vikings drafted Jordan Love, he wouldn't stink?
Oh, of course he would.
Yeah, I mean... They just do it
Oh,
differently.
Paul was
I'm
going to
just-
say board DX.
Well, actually, we already know what quarterback Paul is coming in to replace Kirk Cousins.
No, I just saw the comment too. Gabriel, no. If Russell Wilson
No,
becomes,
I'm not thinking Russ.
Oh, thank God. We were
This
at
is
one
from-
point the betting favorite.
No.
and I-
You know the betting
Paul.
favorite is now for us? It's the Steelers.
That'd be horrible for you guys.
I don't know.
Paul, I just want you to recall your Vikings history here. What
Oh, yeah.
quarterback
Aaron
played for the
Rodgers.
Packers, went to the Jets,
God, that'd be
got
so
hurt,
good.
went to the Vikings?
That'd be so good to have a Aaron Rodgers Vikings
so-
versus Jordan
so-
Love Jets or Jordan Love Packers next year.
So going back to kind of what we were saying before,
Oh, here we go.
if you're in next year, you're in the playoffs in the NFC Divisional round with a healthy Rodgers or a healthy Love. Who are you taking?
Right now,
Yeah, who'd you rather have?
for one game today
No. Like let's say
next year.
Let's say Rodgers next year becomes a Viking and leads you to the divisional round. Would you rather have him or Jordan Love?
Probably Rodgers.
Yeah, right. Okay.
Probably Rodgers. I think I think Love is really, really good, but I've seen when Rodgers is on, there's very few quarterbacks in the history of football like him. And look, that could be very well could be a mistake.
Love could be one of them.
Oh, Love could.
Love could be one of them.
Love could. Like he's got all the skills and tools necessary, but
When the attributes, he does things that Rodgers is able to do.
and Rodgers, is older. He's injured. Like it could be a horrible decision on my end, but I'd roll the dice and hope for a vintage game from Aaron Rodgers, which is a little crazy. But before we started the show today, we were talking about someone here says JT says I don't understand how hard it is to grasp, draft, and develop a QB. Like it's so
Very
rushed
hard,
now.
apparently.
It's so rushed now that you just throw people in. Everyone's giving up on Bryce Young. I know you don't like him, but the fact is he's played for one season in a crappy situation.
No,
I know you think he stinks, but no one is patient.
He stinks.
Love was really bad for a few weeks.
No, but the Packers did it perfectly
Yeah, they did.
because
They're perfect.
they drafted him. This is his 4th year. He sat behind one of the best quarterbacks ever, and now he's going to be superstar himself.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've said time and time again. I've forgotten on several occasions that Jordan Love's not a rookie. Like I've said on this show several times, Jordan Love being a rookie. I'm like, shoot, no, he's been there for 4 years now. I mean, they did it perfectly.
Yeah, they've done a great job here. And
But
just looking through.
Bryce Young stinks. I don't know why they drafted him.
Someone again is saying that the mics could sound a little off. So let us know if it sounds off to you guys. I'm not sure. We can't hear it right now. To go back to what I have almost brought up like 2 or 3 times now. Before the show, I asked Zach, are the Packer weapons close to that of San Francisco? Like secretly close to that? And he looked at me immediately and said, absolutely not.
Just put me on blast right there. Huh?
I'm sorry. Well, yeah,
Well,
it depends on it depends on what you mean by close. Like, would I be surprised to see a few 49ers receivers have a bad day or a few Green Bay receivers have a good day? No. But like we've seen so much from all the 49ers. Christian McCaffrey, I'm sorry, he's better than Aaron Jones.
Yeah,
George Kittle, I'm sorry, he's better than Musgrave and Kraft combined. Debo and like
So you don't think it's very close?
I think that the Packers' weapons are good enough that they can have a good game. But if you're talking who's better, it's not close. It's the 49ers.
Yeah, it's not close.
Oh, let me ask you this then. I'll go through each playoff team left. Would you rather have the Packer weapons or them? Packers or the Lions? So you got Amon Ra, Jahmyr Gibbs,
Probably the
Montgomery, Laporta.
Lions.
That's very close, though. I'd go either way.
Buccaneers? I mean, that's
Bucks.
very good again.
Probably the Bucks.
Evans, Godwin, Rashad White.
Probably the Bucks.
See, I actually think I might take the Packers over the Buccaneers.
I mean, I think like I've said, I think Jordan Love is a decent amount better than Brock Purdy. Like I think if you swap the two and you put you give Purdy Love's weapons and you give Love Purdy's weapons, it's astronomical.
Mm-hmm. So you guys, in this regard, then you would say the Packers have and again, very, very good weapons, but you'd say the weakest in the NFC currently right now.
Yeah, but I think with the Bucks and the Lions, it's very, very close.
Yeah, I don't think there's a meaningful difference between their weapons and the Bucks or Lions weapons.
Mm-hmm. And then if you look down the AFC side, you probably take them over everyone in the AFC, right? You take them over the Chiefs.
Yeah.
You take them over the Texans.
Yeah.
You take them over the Bills, right? That's just Diggs and
just
Cook.
Diggs.
Diggs, Cook, Kincaid.
No, take the.
Still think I take the Packers. And then who am I forgetting here?
The
The Ravens. Yeah, and you probably take the Packers still. So
I mean, the Packers too. Like when you come down to like Packers versus Bucks, I might give it to Green Bay because of Aaron Jones. Like I would take Green Bay's run game over Tampa Bay's.
Just to give you an idea of how big the gap is between these receivers, we put out a quick poll. The 49ers are beating the Packers 60-40, despite this chat probably being exclusively Packers fans.
Yeah, no,
Except
the
for you,
49ers.
Merle. We see you, Merle.
You would take the 49ers weapons over the Packers, but people are mentioning it in the comments section here. The scary thing about the Packers is just the number, the volume of weapons that they have, the volume of high level weapons that they have. Where if you have 4 receivers lined up, any one of them can pick you apart. And even Bo Melton, I don't know how we allow Bo Melton. That may just be a Viking problem.
But they're all young. They're feeding off each other. They're having fun. They remind me of like Kentucky basketball. They're 5 freshmen.
That's what I mean. With
they're having a
March
good time.
Madness.
They're balling out, and they're tough to beat. So that's the scary thing. Is they're all super young kids who probably right now shouldn't be here, but don't know that.
Oh,
and
Ziggy.
here they are.
Can you throw up a poll? We asked this last week between Wicks, Dobbs, Watson, and Reed. Which one would you like? Who do you think is the best of the 4 young Packer receivers there? Can you throw up that poll? I'd love to see.
Yeah, got it.
Well, yeah, the scary Bo Melton, good too.
763 people in here. If you would like to thank them.
Oh yeah,
Thank you, appreciate
thank you very much. We're seeing here. That's our record now for a live. We've never had this many people. We'll keep going a little bit. We'll see if we can get to 1,000.
How many are Packer fans? Probably 760.
760. We have Merle.
Oh yeah, Merle.
Merle, and maybe 1 or 2 other people.
Anybody not a Packers fan in here?
And if you have any questions you want us to answer, you can always super chat it to us. I don't know if the membership thing works. Well, we just figured that out today, so we'll see what happens.
Yeah, if you have some questions, throw it in there. The super chat will automatically get you read because it pops up in green for us and we can see it very easily. But yeah, it's I'm excited to see the results of this poll here because there are, it's a very enviable.
Well, yeah, and it's good that the Packers have this kind of depth because when you look at the cornerbacks who have struggled for the 40.
Everybody's going off.
Oh, Ziggy, you forgot Reed?
Oh, Ziggy.
He was a lot of people's number 1.
Oh,
right?
come on. Let me put in Bo Melton. I can only put in 4. You can only put in 4.
See, that's what,
Wasn't
absurd.
Reed a lot of these guys won last week?
Yeah.
Look, man, I've got to beat the Packers fan allegations.
Dude, you're getting crushed deservedly so in the comment section right now. That is ridiculous to leave.
All right, fine. Some people voted for Bo Melton. Some people voted for Bo Melton.
No one's voting for Bo Melton.
Ziggy, is Reed your UVA guy?
No.
Who's
it's
that?
Wicks.
Oh, it's
It's
Wicks.
Wicks.
Yeah, it's Wicks.
Yeah, after the disco says redo the poll. All right, we need to see this again because I think
my bad. Sheesh.
Fire Ziggy.
Yes.
We might have to.
Fire Ziggy. You see how quickly everyone can turn?
What if the next show Ziggy was not here? What happened to Ziggy? We fired him.
Fire.
Like we took
Left Jaden Reed out of the poll.
Yeah, we took your guys' advice. We listened to you.
Why would we fire him? Oh.
Yeah, that would be. Hey, you know what? We'll see what happens. Yeah, some more Fire Ziggy's coming in the chat.
Unbelievable.
So
fine,
good.
there you go. Reed's in all caps just for you guys.
Ooh, and
Watch
Smith
Reed
now.
get 4th in the poll anyway, because no one cares.
No, Reed will not be 4th in the poll. He's been awesome. He's been really,
Christian
really
Watson is my number 1.
Oh, I wanted to ask Packer fans too. This will be the next.
Oh, hey
poll.
man, and I spelled Dobbs wrong. This is tough. This is really
Yeah.
tough.
Oh,
It's
dude.
DOUBS,
Dude,
right?
dude. You know what, guys? That just shows that Ziggy is not a Packer fan.
What do you spell?
Oh, I
DOUBS?
can't. I knew how Romeo Dobbs' name was spelled too. I've been thinking about Josh Dobbs because I'm a Vikings fan, so I spelled the same way.
Andrew Hahn says so many good co-hosts on the market right now.
But
Yeah,
look, as I was going
anyone
to say
know?
before the fans lit me up, here's why you should be happy about this depth. The 49ers, their best defenders are very good, but the places they've struggled this year, players like Ambry Thomas, Isaiah Olivord, Diamador Lenore, right? Not like your Trevarius Wards or Fred Warners, but the guys who are a little bit further down the depth chart, your nickel corners, your slot corners. So having all these weapons are going to help a little bit.
I just want to say right now, this might be the greatest story of friendship ever told, what I'm about to say on this show right here. The greatest story of friendship ever told.
This is
Oh,
minus
God,
30,000. This is being brought up.
You said this in the car
You said,
yesterday.
yeah, like where
we
did the
forgot to
chance
set a
Paul
minus
brings up
number.
the
I
story.
don't think that this is definitely not what you guys are talking about here. But this is the greatest story of friendship ever told. In the chat right now,
All right.
Oh, okay.
from my good friend
Okay.
and Ziggy's good friend, all of our good friend, Weston Dell says, never thought I'd be pulling for the pack. Go Green Bay with an exclamation point. Weston Dell is a Chicago Bears fan.
Wow.
Now listen to this. He hates the Packers, perhaps even more than me and Ziggy right now. But for the sake of this show's future,
Weston, let's talk
he
about
is
Weston.
pulling for the Packers today.
Folks, put a little
I'm
clapping
not even
emoji in
pulling
the
for
chat for
Packers
Weston
today.
Dell.
I'm not even. Yeah.
Give Weston a shout out.
I've
Oh,
always
we've got a
thought-
whole bunch
beautiful.
of party emotes and heart emotes coming in.
Another super chat. I don't know if it's come up for you yet.
I've always thought Weston was a great dude.
Oh, I mean, well, what Weston
I mean,
is.
like-
That's a.
Like one of the best ever.
I mean, he might get. I'm curious to see if he gets ripped in this. If he gets ripped.
No, he's a Bears fan. Rooting
No,
for
by
the
the Packers fans.
But he's rooting for the Packers.
Oh, I think it's a beautiful story.
As
from
a Bears
Weston.
fan?
It's very, very nice. From Luke. Luke says, glad to see the Paul Farrington show is still the Packer backers pod. Go Pack, go.
See, now if you super chat, you make Paul have to say go Pack go.
Yeah, I just realized that. As I was saying it, I realized if you do super chat it, I have to read it. So theoretically, you could write anything, and I have
You
to
have
read
to
it.
read it, yeah.
Well, you
Not
don't
anything. Not anything.
I
but-
totally forgot about the Texans-Ravens game today because of our Packer following.
Oh, but can I just redeem myself a little bit, by the way, to
Please.
these Packers fans? A really good story I read from Go Long on Substack. If you're interested in Romeo Doubs, his story, really actually an incredible rise to the NFL. They just wrote like 15,000 words on Romeo Doubs, his backstory. I read it this morning. I don't want to get into it. It might be too heavy to put on air, but really interesting story about how this guy made it into the NFL and rose up the Packers depth chart. Super interesting stuff.
Nice. Yeah, go check that out. Defective here says, NFC North is all family. We love to fight and hate on each other, but we are still family. And you know what? I think that's a great point because someone wrote us a really nice long letter. His name was Scott Wilcox, and he sent it to the website, and I think he got a shirt. He was just saying how he's a big Packers fan, and he's in music, so he goes around and he tours, he plays at different places, and down in New Orleans, he was hanging out with the Lions and a Vikings fan. And some Saints fan came up to him at the bar they were at and started ripping on the Vikings. And it was either Lions or Bears on the Vikings and the other fan. And he was like, whoa. You got to understand something. I can rip on them, but you can't. And I think that the NFC North is a very fun community of people because it is intense. These rivalries are crazy. I think they're the best in the NFL. But there's at the same look, you guys are just pure hatred. There's a bond between the NFC North teams that is really
AFC
special.
North rivalries are unmatched.
No, but there's a great bond between NFC North. Like there is hatred, but there's also respect, and it's a cool. It's
Yeah,
a
because
cool
you guys
teams.
are all lame and soft. AFC North is bashing,
We are
bashing,
football.
bashing,
The
bashing.
NFC North is football.
The AFC North is football. We don't like each other.
No, well, how about just the North? The North is football. AFC and NFC both.
No, because you're not supposed to like each other.
Ziggy, I doubt that you can read.
Yeah, all right. I mean,
Wait, no
to be
pun-
fair,
no
that
pun
is
intended.
how
Yeah,
I
no pun
feel when
intended.
I'm
That's
sometimes when I'm
beautiful.
going through. I have to read a whole lot of Latin for my job.
Oh,
Sometimes I doubt I can do it.
here's the poll results. Who's the scariest Packer wide receiver? Reed 50%, Watson.
Yeah, no, they
18,
just did that to mess with me.
Wick 16 and Dobbs 14%.
Oh,
Where's Bo Melton?
Paul, you got to read this super chat. This is
I'm catching up
offensive.
here. I heard Brock Purdy gifted his most irrelevant award to the Vikings.
Oh,
Oh no!
It's probably true.
You know what
Let's be real.
I saw the other day? A lot of people talk about Tom Grossi to our channel, and we have I watched some of his stuff. He's really, really good. I'm sure every Packer fan knows him here.
Yeah, we got a collab.
And I thought it would be one of the most sickening things ever. I saw Tom Grossi was like Packer fan of the year, and I was just starting to think like, oh my god, if this grows bigger amongst Packers fans,
We could be Packer fans of the year.
how horrible would it be if the Green Bay Packers were like, oh, screw these guys, let's give them Packers fans of the year? That would be miserable.
I think that if the Packers beat San Francisco and they're in the NFC Championship game, we should go to Green Bay and put on a show in a bar.
If they go to the Super Bowl,
If they go to the NFC Championship game.
oh, the championship game.
Then we do a preview show in a sports bar in Green Bay that Saturday.
I mean, look,
I think we should. I really think we should.
I think
do
maybe
it.
Super Bowl. I think maybe Super Bowl. But
Yeah,
it's-
well, you're
look,
losing
Super
you're
Bowl.
losing your cred with the Grossi, by the way.
why?
It's Grossi.
Grossi, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
I
no,
thought it was
that's
Grossi
this is how
also.
you know we're not Packers fans, right? We can't even pronounce the name of the Packers fan of the year.
Junior R says, I finally catch you guys live. Yeah, it's
What's up, Junior?
we finally got there. Paul Farrington show for Packers fans of the year. Oh God, just be horrible. That would be just terrible. Yeah, I tried to put on a live show once at Notre Dame when I was producing Inside the Garage, and it went horribly wrong. Inside a bar, everyone was talking. Kyle Hamilton shows up. We almost lose to Toledo. And we almost lost to Toledo. I'm like sitting in the car. Oh my God, we're going to have to cancel the whole damn event. Audio didn't work. In a bar might be tough, but maybe. How about outside of Lambeau Field?
Outside Lambeau Field. Yeah,
Can you imagine we get a permit to do that outside Lambeau Field?
I think with this Packers following we have, they'd all have our back.
Oh, yeah.
Chat, Paul.
Another
Oh,
super
Paul,
chat?
you're gonna love reading this one.
Oh no. Oh geez. Okay. I love the Green Bay Packers. I'll do this with the right intent because there are exclamation points.
Go, come on, Paul. The people are paying good money for this.
I love the Green Bay Packers. They are my favorite team. Go Pack Go from the Paul Farrington Show. Ziggy, Ziggy, Ziggy. That's sick.
That's the comment of the show right there.
That's sick.
Who is that?
That's from Lance. From Lance. Yeah, it's horrendous. That's disgusting.
That's the comment of the show.
Yeah, it's evil. It's evil. That's what it is at the end of the day.
Go.
Packers fans, Ziggy, can you throw up another poll? If they were to beat San Francisco today, and I know that people don't like looking ahead, but I do. Someone says clipped. That's horrible. I like looking ahead. That's my ranking things, looking ahead when you shouldn't. That is the way that I view football. And maybe that's because that's all I can really do as a Viking fan is look ahead and hope. But if they were to beat the 49ers today, would you guys rather face the Lions or the Bucks in a potential NFC Championship game? Now, I feel like at first thought you would say Tampa Bay, but Tampa Bay just went into Lambeau and beat them up pretty good and are playing a lot better football. Who would you? Yeah, Paul and Ziggy are both ND grads. Who would you rather?
Wow. Us in the background.
Well, we're not ND grads.
Well, no, they're not. They're not. Yeah,
I didn't go to Notre Dame.
Let's see. So here we have Bucks. Yeah, I think most people. I would take the Bucks personally.
I think I'd take the Lions.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, this is a team. Yeah. This is a team. It's a division rival. A team that you know, a team that you own, a team that you probably feel like you can go in there and beat because you have by a lot. Tampa Bay is a team who you got crushed by, and now you're going on the road to them. I'd rather deal with a familiar face in a game that's probably going to be close than go on the road to a team you don't really know well.
And look, no disrespect to the Buccaneers, but who cares?
Oh no!
Right?
Can
you imagine how exciting a Lions Packers NFC Championship game would go?
No, I think the Packers would rather play the Lions than Tampa Bay.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, the Packers fans would be so much more excited for this game, and I think it's more winnable too. But that would be an all-time great game. The Buccaneers and Baker Mayfield, whatever.
A Lions Packers game would be a phenomenal NFC Championship game, but I would rather face the Buccaneers.
It's also too good to be true for the Lions. They're just not going to the Super Bowl, and we all know that. They would lose to the Packers in that game.
I do think, this is so funny. Chad Porter says, how tragic would it be if the Packers faced the Lions and the Packers went to the Super Bowl?
That's what would happen. There's no way on earth the Lions go to the Super Bowl.
That is the Lions' dream scenario, is to have this insane season. You break all these streaks, these runs of being cursed, and then you go to the NFC Championship game and the Packers beat you. Our friend Tom Monroe, who I think has extended his show mention streak to 4 or 5 now, he keeps sending me things saying, the Packers don't own the Lions. And, 3 of the last 4 have gone to Detroit. But in terms of the NFC North, the Packers are the kings, and they usually are. So I would expect them to win that game just from a make know your place kind of a thing.
That game will be a revenge story a year in the making.
Mm-hmm.
And the Packers will have won the war. You kept us out of the playoffs last year in our home stadium. Okay, we're going to go to the Super Bowl in your home stadium. The Packers will win that game. But I don't know if they'd beat the Bucks.
We have a super chat from I think that is it? You think that's layers or 1A'ers?
Who knows?
He says don't want to face kneecap biters though. They are good. So understandable. I mean, no one would want to face the kneecap biters.
Let me just say, as unfortunate as it is for all of us, you guys, us, that won't be an issue. The Niners will host the winner of. The Niners will host the winner of Lions Bucks next weekend.
You got a shout out, Ziggy, from Michael Hernandez. He says, shout out to Ziggy.
No, Michael. Shout out to you.
Oh, that's beautiful. That is beautiful. Weather not a factor in Detroit, closer to home. That is a good point.
Closer to home is a quick trip.
Closer. Oh, I
Yeah.
wonder. Wow, I wonder what Ford Field would look like if it were Packers Lions. I wonder how many Packers fans would get in there. Because I mean, the Lions fans, we've seen the ticket prices. Was it $1,800? Was that what it is for this game?
Right, it's $1,200 right now, I think.
$1,200 right now.
Which it's the highest.
It's ridiculous.
No, it's the highest divisional round ticket ever for Lions Bucks. Imagine if it was Lions Packers NFC chip, that'd be over $2,000.
Yeah, oh my gosh, that would be absurd to go to. But I wonder how many Packers fans would be able to get in. Because we've seen, like, they travel really well. Whenever the Vikings host them, a lot of Packers fans there.
I also think if you can go down to sunny Florida for a couple days, there'll be a lot of cheeseheads in Tampa Bay as well.
Doug says, seriously, you guys should consider doing more Packers. We don't have a podcast with a group of good young analysts. I actually looked. I think there are a lot of good Packer podcasts out there. I was listening to, there's Pack a Day.
You just plug all our competitors, Paul, now.
I mean, there's Locked On Packers. You know, I'm not.
Oh, we're not a Packers podcast, Ziggy.
Like, there are a lot of good ones, but we'll definitely, we're very appreciative of all the Packer fans. Like, seriously, very, very appreciative of all the Packers fans who have been watching. I can't tell you how many times a day, a week that someone sends some statistic or some comment where, like, how is this even possible? It's kind of crazy to us to think that people enjoy watching us talk about football. And we've been doing it for a long time, so like we do have experience in it, but it's still crazy, and we are very, very appreciative. And we're going to keep doing Packer content. I think we'll have in the offseason at least 2 Packer videos coming out a week. Right now we're doing a lot because they are the story to talk about.
Yeah, they're the most exciting team in the entire NFL.
They are, and no one's mentioning them. It's kind of crazy. Like people aren't talking about them in the national media, and it's the Green Bay Packers with a quarterback who's the second half of the season MVP. It's crazy.
The last like few weeks, honestly, the first thing I'll do when I wake up is go to the Packer clips we post and see what new comments we got.
Oh, it's so fun.
And how many new subscribers we're up to.
Oh, it's amazing.
I mean, some of the comments are truly awesome. It's like I couldn't even imagine people saying things like that.
We got a $10 super chat from Thunder. So thank you, Thunder. That's really nice.
Where's Lightning?
Actually, for you guys to know, I am afraid of lightning. I do have astrophobia. It is a serious condition that people should not make fun of. Fear of lightning.
Lightning.
Lightning is a fair thing to be afraid of.
Like,
I think most people don't understand. It is electricity
shooting,
falling from the sky
in unpredictable patterns. Now look. If I'm inside,
I don't like driving in storms. I get scared of that.
If I'm inside, I'm not gonna throw a fit and cry if there's thunder and lightning. I just am uncomfortable outside when there's lightning, and I think that's fair. But Thunder says, as a Packer fan, you guys are top notch though. Excellent content. NFL or NFC North will be dangerous for the next few years. So thank you very much, Thunder. We really
bring
appreciate
the Thunder.
that.
Appreciate it.
Great comment. And he's right. The NFC North with Caleb Williams going to the Bears. He's going to go to the Bears, by the way, for anyone who's wondering.
Such a bad move.
With Detroit now, the resurgence of the Lions, the Packers with Jordan Love looking like who knows what the hell is going to happen. And I think the Vikings are going to get a young quarterback, and there's a lot of good coaches there, some really good young players, obviously Justin Jefferson. That's going to be a really fun division to watch over the next few years.
Is Weston still in this chat?
I'm sure. Hopefully.
He doesn't want Caleb Williams. He wants Justin Fields. I know that for a fact.
No, he should want.
All these Packers fans would love if the Bears drafted that.
Or Drake May, QB1. But we'll get to plenty of quarterback talk in the offseason. I don't think we have to worry about that.
These Packers fans would love if the Bears screwed themselves drafting Caleb Williams.
No, the super chat here. Oh, okay. Let's see here.
Yeah, from
Jim. So go ahead, Ziggy. Why don't you read one?
Yeah. I got to read one, right? This is from a Jerry Weiss Corbley. She's calling the shot with Reed. She says the rust and the rain will be the 49ers' downfall.
I mean,
okay.
There are 2 things we said that you have to pay attention to in this game. And then another Jaden Reed. So Reed won. I think he actually would have won. I also do think that part of it was.
Well, Reed, we asked the same question last week, and Reed was a lot of their number one. It was either Reed or Dobbs.
Ryan Pingle says, fortunately, these guys never really had a decent team to root for before they became Packer fans.
I think a lot of these fans think I'm also a Viking fan. Like, I don't
no, you know what it's like to root for a decent team.
Yeah, I'm a Steelers fan. We're better than you guys are. Like, I don't know if they know that I'm a Steelers fan.
Sean L. says, watching Ziggy progressively come to the realization that the Packers are still the Vikings' daddy over the season has been phenomenal. That's hysterical. Yeah, I mean, it's been horrible watching this Packer resurgence like coming back to life.
No, it hasn't. You
I thought
me,
they were done.
You text me every day. This is so incredible.
I text you that the numbers are incredible, but I'm not rooting for the Packers.
Oh, yeah, you are.
I
Yes,
am
you
not
are. You
rooting for the
so
Packers.
Are. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Another super
You
chat.
should have seen our chat last week when the Packers were up by 20 on the Cowboys.
What I would like to see it. I think I audibly went.
Hey,
I can't say. I don't wanna- I don't
you
wanna
should
get
listen to
censored.
Zach. You should listen to Zach.
The okay, super chat here from Quasar0121. He says the media is not talking about us because they thought we would be bad. A good story doesn't drive ratings like a Packers downfall. I mean, yeah,
That's why
that
we're
does
here.
make sense.
We're here for the media.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we're,
I mean,
we're
to me,
talking
it
about
seems
You're-
like that. You know, I think the story of Love rising from the Rodgers to Love now after Favre to Rodgers is a really cool story, an unfortunate story. But
This team was 2-5, and Love looked like crap.
the amazing Oppo says the Lions will finally reach the NFC Championship game and will be catching their breath in here. What took you so long? And see the Packers relaxing and waiting.
That's funny.
That is like we talked about that in one of the previous shows that for Detroit, and maybe it could come back to haunt them a little bit, but they're so excited right now. And you saw just how relieved everyone looked after they finally won a game. You know, talk about like the monkey coming off your shoulder. They get that win, and there's still a lot of work to go. You have to get through the Bucs, who are hot. You have to go through the Packers or the 49ers, who are also really hot. There's a long way to go for these Lions fans here.
I'm sorry. We just got a great
You think he's
comment from
cracking up over
Defective.
Yeah,
Paul, Jack, and
yeah,
Ziggy. I
that's
appreciate
crazy.
how good a sense of humor you guys have about this. I honestly really love your show, but that nameless Dolphins producer can eat it.
That's crazy.
I mean,
also
to
have
be
another
fair,
super
Zach
chat, Paul.
does have the worst sense of humor because of what the Vikings have a kind of a disappointing season. Dolphins have had the most disappointing season of almost any team in the NFL.
Nameless Dolphins producer.
We love Zach. We love Zach. That's a good. That's a great
That
comment.
is hilarious.
Another
don't
super
forget-
chat, too, for you, Paul.
That might have won the new best comment of the show.
That's amazing.
And I think GA007 raises a good point here. It's scary for Packers haters and other fans of teams in the NFC North because, as they say, this is the worst the Packers team will be in the next 3 years with Jordan Love as their quarterback.
Probably. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. He's going to get a big contract soon.
Yeah, this team next year will go in with aspirations to be the number 1 seed in the NFC. 1,000,000%.
I just realized that going into next year, it's going to be
Yeah, 1,000,000%.
Packers, 49ers,
Eagles,
Cowboys.
Niners, Packers, Dallas. Yeah,
Oh, God.
that's what it'll be.
Well, we'll see how they end here too. I mean, if the Packers, sometimes this momentum does carry over. If they get a win here, I'm really just not excited for what's coming up here.
They're not going
I
to
can't
win.
believe I caught a stray like that. That's
You did-
crazy.
you did get a
I
stray.
haven't really said much, and that stray comes out of nowhere.
Wait, what's your name?
I'm nameless.
Nameless.
I'm nameless.
I think someone said, yeah, Tiago. Tiago says, greetings from Portugal. Go Pack, go.
Another overseas.
Yeah. Hello to everyone
Appreciate
in
it.
Portugal.
That's
Yeah,
awesome.
I can't believe people in Portugal listen.
You know they speak Portuguese in Brazil? I found that out like
Yes.
a week ago. I didn't know.
What do you
I
mean
thought-
you found that out a week
I thought
ago?
I thought it was Brazilian, but they speak Portuguese. We'll move on, but I just found that funny. Go ahead.
I mean, I understand that it can be more surprising.
Yeah, I had nuclear spoke Portuguese in
that
Brazil.
is why we are a sports podcast.
That's what
and
we're talking
not
about the
a-
Packers.
So
not about-
Turtle
yeah.
says what team does Ziggy root for? Ziggy's had an interesting sports or NFL fandom story. He is a Viking fan, and I worked really hard to get him to become a Viking fan. When we first started talking NFL, freshman year of college, what's crazy about Ziggy is he really wasn't a big sports fan, but Ziggy's able to. I think he's able to, process information faster than almost any human I've ever met in the world. Where all of a sudden, he studied up on everything, knew football better than everyone the next day. But Ziggy was originally a Jets fan, right? Because your dad is a Jets fan. Then he switched over to the Rams because he loved Greg Zuerlein and the kicking game over in LA. Now he did it before they won the Super Bowl. And actually
Way
left them.
before.
And then you left them before they won. Before they won, I believe, right? You came over to the Vikings
Yeah.
the year that they won the Super Bowl, and he's been a Viking fan ever since, with some heavy recruitment along the way. I was waiting for a long time. Let's see here. So yes, 2 Vikings fans and a Steeler fan and a Dolphin fan.
I appreciate all of you absolutely bodying Jack in the comments.
Is Jack getting bodied right now?
Why am I getting bodied?
For the
Typical, according to Aloha Snack Bar, typical Steelers fan IQ of a brick.
What, for saying we're better than they are?
No, for Portuguese. That's awesome.
And we are still better than the Packers.
I don't know, man.
But you guys,
unfortunately.
how many playoff games did you win
I'm
this
getting
year?
to it here.
No, I mean,
Everyone.
historically.
Yeah, it says for some people the volume's still low. Hopefully it's
It seems to be a TV thing.
yeah, maybe it's a TV.
Who is that? Who left that comment? That's
Dear
that's the new
God.
favorite fan. That's my new
Dear
favorite
God, did you take 8th grade geography? LOL.
To be fair, I don't want to sound like a fair weather fan here. First of all, I picked terrible teams. Second of all, I was a Jets fan for like a week.
fan. For like
Right, that was when I was first discovering the NFL. I needed some team to root for. The Rams were really my team, but they moved away from what I loved. And then it's like the Vikings are just. I'm a Vikings fan at heart,
Is your dad still a Jets fan?
and miserable every day.
I
It's,
can't-
it's
I mean,
tough.
you really can't be much better for you.
Oh,
Yeah,
and
someone mentioned, he said we haven't really talked much 49ers. I feel like, this 49ers Packers show, but we know a lot of Packers fans are in the chat. That's why we're talking that. But if you were the 49ers right now, what would be your like fear factor going into this game? Are you nervous about the Packers?
Yeah. Why? Of course.
Like you
Well,
said, you would be more nervous to play Green Bay than Detroit or Tampa?
I mean, this is a team who just went into Dallas and was up by 30 points in the fourth quarter on the road. This is a team who, like I've said, the last 9 weeks of the season, I think has the best quarterback in the league. A team with 4 weapons he can pick and choose from. They've been near impossible to stop. A running back who's gone over 100 yards five games in a row, and a defense who's shown improvement. Like, they look like a good football team pretty much right now on all sides. Like, they're firing. It's a well-oiled wheel. So yeah, I don't want to play them.
Dan says, no fear, respect lots, but fear no. I think that's fair.
Respect all, but fear none. Yes. Hey, fear is not the right word. You don't fear anybody, especially when you're playing at home in the playoffs. Like, go out there, take care of business.
After
But
the
respect.
disco says they should be scared. They have no clue what's coming.
Well, this is the thing about this Packers team. We saw it against the Cowboys, right? Like, here's what they want to do. They want to come in and attack, right? They're not going to come in scared or intimidated by the 49ers or nervous. They're going to come out and be ready to play from day one. Meanwhile, well, I guess minute one. Obviously, it's all happening in one day. Meanwhile, the 49ers have taken 3 weeks off competitive football. They sort of coasted to the end of the season with that unfortunate game against the Ravens. Like, there's definitely a chance that the Packers are the first team to deliver the gut punch, and that can be tough to come back from.
I'm nervous if I'm San Francisco if this game's in the third quarter and it's a dogfight. Like,
yeah, you don't want. We've said this a million times, but when you're a heavy favorite, there becomes that moment in usually the third quarter, mid to late third quarter, where if it's still a game, that's when you go, oh,
the
all right,
longer
like,
you
we got something here.
If you let the underdog hang around, minute by minute, they become more comfortable. They feel like they can win, and that's
San Francisco's
scary.
capable of knocking out Green Bay in the first quarter. Like, they can do that.
1,000,000%.
They can do that, and
they
you said that's one of your
have
big
to put
keys.
them away early. If this is a blowout by half, Green Bay's done, and it very well could be. But if Green Bay hangs around, it's late in the third, it's close, that's where I get scared if I'm San Francisco. They got to put them away early, San Francisco. That's what you got to do with these underdogs, especially on your home field.
Oscar says, "Hey, made my first live stream. Hey, Oscar, how's it going? Thanks for checking in with us. It's awesome."
You're not Oscar the Grouch, are
He
you?
says, "I just run from my problems."
Oscar?
Oscar says that.
Does he live in the garbage can? Is he Oscar the Grouch?
I don't know. He seems pretty joyous. How good is Brock Purdy? Yup, underrated Packers. Still a sleeper. So okay, as we get towards the end of this here, why don't we talk about Ziggy? Will we ever see you on set for some episodes next year? That's a great question.
I will be coming up to New Jersey at some point for a few episodes.
There's a
It's gonna
seat
be
right
good
here.
time.
There's a seat right
We
next
do have
to
a
me.
seat right there.
You have to get the camera first, but once you get the camera, it's going to happen.
Ziggy's our AJ Hawk.
Yeah. If we were the Pat McAfee show, our AJ Hawk.
I am not AJ Hawk. AJ Hawk just sits there and stares.
You're right.
So why don't we give some game predictions here, because we're starting to wrap up the stream. We've been going for a while here. Producer Zach, He's been catching a lot of strays on the show today. He's looks fed up. Okay, let's go Ziggy first. What's your score prediction?
Have me go last. I need to think this through.
Diva. A diva.
We've talked about the keys, said how the Packers could win the game, the factors, all that. And this is a very good Packer team. I love our fans. I'm repping the jersey right now. I picked against them last week, and I was wrong. And I hate to say it. I think San Fran gets off to a hot start. The Packer magic runs out, and San Fran wins this game about 30-13 and covers -10.
30-13.
So I got San Francisco.
Wow.
In a pretty big way.
Wow, 30-13. I don't think it'll be that big of a blowout. I expect Green Bay to hang in there throughout the entire game. I'm going to go 31-24 San Francisco. I think there'll be a good amount of points scored. I do think that the Jordan Love offense is going to... it'll be back and forth. There'll be some big stops, too. I don't think this is just going to be like lightning up and down the field. But yeah, 31-24, the Packers will have the San Francisco will score late and get a stop to win it. I know people aren't going to like that. Yeah, here we're seeing everyone come in. 31-24 Packers 27-24. 14-0 Packers. Joe Barry, defensive coordinator of the year.
Class.
45-42 Packers. What do you got, Ziggy?
Is Zach making a prediction?
I can make a prediction because
Yeah, go ahead, Zach.
all these Packers fans just throwing strays at me today. It's 42-0 49ers.
Yeah. Wait. Draven says this guy switched up. Said Love was number one, and now says we'll get blown out. Any response to that?
I think that Jordan Love
I
think Jordan Love right now is the best quarterback in the playoffs. Like I said, with that being said, I don't think he plays well today. I think San Francisco defense
Get
lights him
this
up.
hollow-headed, useless Steelers fan off the Packers show. Get a new co-host. Fire him.
You know, I think every single QB that I have on this list left in the playoffs will get crushed in San Francisco. It's nothing
Quizzic
against
hits a
Love.
good
Nothing
point,
against Love.
Paul. Earlier you said you love the Packers and they're your favorite team.
Yeah.
Now you're picking against them?
Okay, relax. I was forced to say that, as we all know.
Okay.
Hollow-headed Steelers fan.
Listen.
No, hold on. 38-10, San Francisco. I moved Love back to number 8 on this list.
All right, Ziggy. People last week were surprised on this set to hear you say the Packers would beat the Cowboys, and not only did they beat them, they crushed them. Are you going with them today? Fire them
Paul,
all.
starting a long time ago, we make game predictions every week, and starting a long time ago, I decided I was going to pick this Packers team quite a bit, and it's worked out. Unfortunately, this game looks like it's going to be different. You got Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, George Kittle, Fred Warner, Nick Bosa, just a million great players on the San Francisco 49ers. But don't you just feel something?
Oh, God.
The rain's going to be pouring. Rising superstar Jordan Love, his band of misfit toys, going into Levi's just like they went into Dallas and kicking the crap out of the 49ers.
Oh, my God.
Now, that's not going to happen, I'm sorry to say. But it's going to be close to that. And it's good enough that the Packers are going to win this game 27-17.
God damn. The chat loves you, dude.
The Green Bay
Going nuts.
Packers are going to get it done. Look, I've only felt this once before, Paul, when I went into a pregame show, convinced that the team was going to lose, and then changed my mind to a close victory. You know what game that was, Paul? You know what game it was that I had that experience?
Well, I know what game.
Notre Dame Clemson 2020.
Yeah,
and what happened? The most exciting game of our lives to a Notre Dame double overtime victory.
Oh my, yeah, the chat. I could hear as Ziggy was building that up. I could hear the roar of the crowd behind him.
The chat hates me and loves Ziggy.
All right, we got to hire Ziggy. People are saying hire Ziggy.
Bring
it's
him
coming.
back.
It's
Bring him
coming.
back.
Somebody called Ziggy Budget AJ Hawk.
Ziggy's a true Packers. It is a budget. We don't have any budget here. Yeah, Ziggy, you are a hero amongst Packers fans.
I became the villain.
If the Packers win this game, oh boy.
He edged us so hard. No one has seen the Packers offense with everyone playing without a snap count yet. This could be special. Look, you guys you guys have a real shot in this one. I don't think, Jack has the blowout here. I think that's part of it. It's him getting pissed off at the chat.
I mean, I'm rooting for Green Bay. I'm sitting here wearing the jersey. I'm not rooting for San Francisco. I just don't think Green Bay wins this game. It's San Francisco at night in the playoffs. I mean, like, come on.
No, I understand. I picked this 49ers too.
San Francisco is they're gonna win. I hate to say it, but San Francisco is going to win.
There's the give him a contract extension stat for Ziggy. The Packers though, I do agree with you, and it sucks to feel that same magic forming around them right now, but they are red hot and they are really, really good. Chaos Crayon, Ziggy just edged us so hard, LOL. You were back and forth. I didn't know which. I thought you were going to pick the 49ers.
Yeah, it was like a Lee Corso-like pick.
Yeah, earlier in the week, I think you said you were leaning San Francisco.
You know, Paul, this feels just like the Cowboys game. I thought thinking the Cowboys are going to blow them out. And then I just inched, and I sort of talked myself into it. Not because I'm trying to delude myself, but because the magic is there. Sometimes you just have a miracle run. Sometimes you just do.
Someone said maybe that Dolphins kid could replace Jack. Defective said that.
These guys are talking about Ziggy edging them, and then Ziggy's bringing up inch by inch by inch by inch a couple seconds later. Funny how the show works out sometimes.
Someone says, Asterisk says, will we get a reaction show if the Pack win? You'll get a reaction show whether the Packers win or not.
Yeah, it'll be regardless.
We'll break it down. Yeah, we'll be. I think we're going to watch the game here from our studio. And come down right after and try and get a reaction out as quick as possible. We were debating going live, but I don't think. Maybe,
and hold on,
maybe
on the reaction show, my apology will be the best apology you've ever seen if the Packers win this game.
Oh, I have no doubt. I remember your apology to Zach Wilson.
Yeah,
was one of our highest watched videos ever.
I ended up being correct about that.
You were right. You were right about that. But Sean L, big edging show, huge edging show. We are. That's awesome. So okay, so we have. Picking 49ers close, picking 49ers big, picking Packers, moderately big, actually, 10-point game.
10 points is a lot.
Zach, sorry, you said 49ers, right?
Yeah. You said 49ers, 42-0?
Yeah, 42-0, because
because you're mad now.
The Packers fans have been on me.
So now it's now there's two pairings for our show now amongst Packers fans. It's Paul and Ziggy in one tier, and then Jack and that Dolphins kid.
Well, Asterisk says, "Don't let the haters bring you down, Zach. We love you too." Yeah. So there's a little love for Zach. We need to get the camera back on.
I'm the most hated now.
I know they don't get to see me no more.
General Barnaky says Barnaky, right?
Barnaky Light.
You comment a lot. Thanks. We really appreciate it. I love seeing your comments and your profile picture pop up. Dolphins fans always looking for side jobs after the regular season. That's hysterical. Isaac says, I agree with what was said in the Cowboy show last week. Ziggy's the type of guy I want my daughter to bring home. Oh,
like the same thing, right?
Whoa.
We got that last week, didn't we?
We did. We did.
Single. Oh, we got another.
Is it the same guy?
Actually, I think, isn't this entire show, our whole friend group really caught some big L's this year.
Oh, I'm working on it. on it.
Yeah. Robert Johnson says, hola, I love you guys. Go Pack Go, Barcelona fan. Oh, another international. How's it going, Robert? We appreciate that a lot. He donates €2. Not $2, €2.
What's that equate to?
About
roughly
$2.
Well, thank you.
It's cheese and Ziggy all day. Is it National Cheese Day? Maybe it is.
Oh, yesterday was National Popcorn Day.
Tristan says, I never thought that my favorite Packers content creators would be Vikings fans, LMAO. Look, well, I never thought our biggest audience would be Packers fans.
There's got to be one villain in these types of shows, someone who stirs the pot. So it's bang bang Niner gang for me tonight.
Blake says, take my daughter first to Ziggy. Ziggy, I mean, you're getting pimped out on this show basically now.
We'll see.
I want somebody's daughter too. What? Ziggy's getting all this love.
One last thing, since it seems like we've wrapped up talking about the Packers, a lot of folks were asking us just about like the most recent coaching news. I don't know if y'all got anything you want to say about that. I always keep an eye out for what
I want to say on this. It's divisional round of the playoffs.
Bill Belichick.
Oh, come on.
With Atlanta?
I don't care.
Bill Belichick is taking Kirk Cousins with him to Atlanta, and you don't have anything to say.
Yeah, I did see that. Actually, I was sad the other day because I've seen a lot of, I'm a very big Kirk Cousins fan. I can't imagine him not being a Viking anymore. So
he'll be a Viking. You know who Belichick's taking to Atlanta? Mason Rudolph.
They'd suck.
Yeah, Belichick to Atlanta, Harbaugh to the Chargers, and the Vikings keep vibing.
Defective says my daughter is 9, LOL. So no, Ziggy. Ziggy, in that regard, I think
he's got to wait 8 years.
I don't think Belichick's gonna go to the Falcons.
9 years.
I really don't. But if they did get him, turning around that defense, and then with all the offensive weapons, they could be scared. All they need is a quarterback. And if you brought Kirk there, that would be a scary Falcons team next year.
Can you imagine the chains Kirk would wear after winning a Super Bowl?
Oh, geez. In Atlanta, the dude, yeah, you'd be on fire. Let's close here. Before we do wrap, if anyone has any questions or comments that you like, throw them in the chat real quick. We'll go for another couple minutes.
We'll leave it for another 5 minutes. Start putting some things in the chat.
Yeah, we'll see if anyone has any questions or comments that they want. Corey says, hearing Packers fans praise the Packers is one thing. Hearing Vikings fans praise the Packers is next level. It's every fan's wet dream to have a rival legitimately praise your team. Yeah,
some people get to enjoy that, some don't.
Some get to and some don't, yeah. This is not what I expected.
Is that Brazilian math, Jack?
What did it say? Is that Brazilian math, Jack?
You mean to tell me that out of the 800 people we have in this chat, not one person also might have thought in their lifetime that Brazil people spoke
Well, they might
Brazilian?
have thought in their lifetime, and then they realized when they were like 7.
Thank you for subscribing, Oscar.
I will have a new favorite fan if they come out and admit they also thought it was Brazilian.
Okay, we do have a couple questions in here. Blake says, what's your favorite foods? Probably pasta.
Wow, that's so generic.
I'm an Italian. Any sort of pasta.
I'm an Italian too. But
Yeah, pasta's phenomenal.
Bro, my favorite is poke bowl.
I like
Dude,
it.
poke bowl's not. I mean,
That's a food.
well, what do you like?
Oh,
What's your order?
you know what? I'm just gonna go sushi.
Sushi.
I like a nice chicken marsala dish. That's probably my favorite meal.
Oh, a great steak though. The great steak is hard to beat.
Great steak's good. I'd take chicken over steak.
Yeah, but how often do you have?
Ziggy, do you want to comment on that, or can I go to the next one?
I'm a big butternut squash soup guy.
Yeah, if you didn't know, Ziggy's it was vegan.
Asterisk, here's a good question. He said, did you get any blowback from Vikings fans for being pro Packers? Now listen. This is a very important clarification.
We have no Vikings following. So
We have very little Vikings following. That will be built up this offseason. We need some Vikings fans badly. And Merle is a huge Vikings fan.
Merle's the guy.
I don't think it's necessarily we have not gotten any blowback, and I don't. We're pro Packers in that we're talking very positively about them. But to be fair, they've deserved it. Like, we try and be very honest on this show, and the Packers have just been playing really well. And one thing that we want to do on this show is talk correctly about teams, not just say the Packers suck because we're Vikings fans. So when the Packers are in the divisional round in year 1 of Jordan Love with a bunch of rookie receivers running around, yeah, it sucks, but you can't ignore the numbers. When Love was struggling, we talked about whether or not Green Bay should start looking for another quarterback. And we said they might have to keep their eye open in the draft. That's changed. So there could definitely be blowback from Vikings fans, but we're not just saying it because we're not just gassing up the Packers out of nowhere. Like, this is warranted. Do you have anything to say about that, Ziggy? You're smiling here.
I mean, look, I appreciate all the butternut squash love in the chat.
Python Bacon says you guys have a great show. Thank you.
I've never had it, so I guess I can't knock it until I try.
When I come to New Jersey, I'll make you the best butternut squash soup of your life.
I'm excited.
Ziggy's a cook.
I'm excited.
Aloha Snack Bar says, I'm betting a lot of us Packers fans liked y'all for 1 year when Favre was there. I actually think that they hated us for that year, but God, what a great year.
Oh yeah, watching Favre go to the rival and tear it up.
God, that was awesome. Why did you throw it?
Oh, would you kiss Jordan Love?
No. It depends how many subscribers we have.
Was that
no.
Was that a comment?
He said Paul would kiss Jordan Love. Good show. Connie says, good show, guys. Go Pack, go. Thanks, Ziggy. Who you picking? Who is picking the Texans? I can't. I'm not picking the Texans. I think it'll be a good game.
That's another blow up. Baltimore's gonna blow them out.
The Texans are very similar to the Packers right now, just in terms of the run they're on. To me, unexpected, hot young quarterback. I'm gonna go with the Ravens in a close one, though. I think it'll be a good game. All right, let's. Ziggy says, time to wrap up. Ziggy says, time to wrap up. Pasta time.
It's about that time, It's been a
Yeah.
great live. We've appreciated every single one of you that's come.
How many in the chat?
We're 710 right now. I think we peaked at like
We peaked at like
825 or something.
No, we were up at 860, 870. There
so
were
we got
tons
close
of
to
folks.
1,000.
We appreciate all the support we've gotten, all
Yeah.
the super chats, especially, but every fan who's come, everyone who's been with us, whether you've been with us for just a few minutes or a few months. We appreciate all of you.
Yeah,
and
seriously.
I'm going to appreciate you even more when you watch all of our videos once the Packers win tonight.
And I will apologize sincerely if the Packers win tonight.
10K subs and Paul kisses Jordan Love.
One more.
Oh,
super chat.
yeah, from Patrick. Patrick Cortazzo says, if Pack wins, have brat and beer on the live show. Oh, that's not. I mean, we will have beer. Oh,
I like I like treating Pack as though it's like a single person. Like, hey, what's up, Pack? How you doing? You won the game tonight?
We could have beer. I don't know if we can get bratwurst.
Bratwursts are great. Bratwursts are great. Robert Johnson says best Vikings year is with a Packer quarterback. Yeah. I know. Okay, we all know. We know.
All right, folks.
Okay, so that'll wrap it up here. We'll be back later today. Ziggy and I maybe will do a reaction to the Texans and the Ravens, depending on how that game goes. But then we'll be back hopefully in studio for the Packers post game. Look, there's a chance it could be alive depending on what happens in it, but we'll see.
We'll have
see
something
happens,
out.
but we'll have something out
quick
later.
after the game.
So we really appreciate everyone who's been here, and we'll see you later today.
Make sure